interested in the expression of scientific literacy in social scientific issues in the public debate. Today, I will present the relations between scientific knowledge and position towards climate change. Climate change debate initiated in 1896 by estimating that the mean global temperature would rise in several degrees in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was doubled. Today, there is a scientific consensus of nearly 100% of science articles that claim that humans are warming the climate system. Since Al Gore campaign in 2006, the public discussion and the international efforts were intensified. In this issue, there are stakeholders that are deeply involved. Politics, economics, and media present facts in a variety of ways. Here we can see a survey of 128 countries that show that countries with high awareness, like here, most of the time we can see that they are skeptic in the human causation of the climate change. Israel has the gap as well. Formal education shifted in the 80s from science for sciences toward the agenda of science literacy. It aims to provide the public with appropriate skills, enable engagement with real-world social scientific issues. There are four major building blocks of scientific literacy that repeatedly address the literature: scientific knowledge, perception of nature of science, inquiry skills, and using these skills needed for the informed positions. Today I will focus on scientific knowledge. We want to know, is science education provide tools for future citizens in order to make informed decisions on science-related issues in daily life, such as climate change? Our field is reader comments to articles, and this field is suitable to examine the scientific education because it is an authentic research field, and it is characterized by accessibility and instant, and by increasing democratization allow participation of all population groups. However, reader comments shows also shallowness and impulsivity. Our research question is, what is the relationship between position towards climate change and the expression of scientific knowledge in reader comments? Our field is why not. We see here the articles and comments. We sampled 6 months of comments about climate change. We found 22 articles with 5,000 reader comments. We analyzed 5 articles with the highest number of reader comments, together 648 comments. Scientific knowledge was assessed based on the use of science concept. We classified it according to their levels in the science curricula. The elementary school curricula, junior high school curricula, and above high school curricula academic level. New concepts which were not previously introduced to the discussion were counted separately. Each comment was assigned a science and concept index according to the following formula. Elementary school concept got 1 point, junior high school 2 points, high school concept 3 points, academic concept 4 points, and the reuse concept another 1 point. We found four positions. For instance, the position that is the scientific position of human impact, human releasing ambiguously amount of greenhouse gases for decades must tip the balance. Another example of the skeptic position: the climate is chaotic, uncontrollable, and has low predictability. Complex position: the world was much warmer in the past and much colder as well. The big question is, how much do we affect climate change? And also there are many non-opinion comments. We saw here that clear position was segmented almost equally to the two sides of clear position, while 40% had no opinion, and only 2% had complex opinion. Read the comments presenting the clear position here. Use more and higher level science concept than those presenting no opinion. The average concept index of the anthropogenic comments was significantly lower compared to the skeptical one, and this is surprising. Public understanding of science research agenda shifted from knowledge towards attitudes. The axiom of the deficit model was: the more you know, the more you love it. The relations between knowledge and attitudes was criticized. The claims that better informed people tend to be among the most skeptical when it comes to morally contentious and non-useful sciences. Let's bring us to trust agenda. Trust becomes the basis of decisions at the point when other assurances are not available and confidence is lacking. The development of positive attitudes might be achieved through a two-way dialogue, where the general public has the opportunity to engage with experts in order to foster their personal attachment to science and recognize some of the positive implications that science has on the quality of their lives. Public engagement with science, academic field, research, the interaction between the public and science community, and the ways to improve public involvement in science. The dialogue must increase trust. There is need of conceptual change in the relationship between scientific world and the public. Science has to be seen as a field of research and also to serving an impact society. The dividing points stands focused on research ethics. The key to increase trust between scientific world and the public is a dialogue, in which science community has to consider and present their research ethics. The public need to be aware to scientific and social aspects of research, partly by science education, and above all, science communication should take the role of creators of trust.
Thank you. It's more a methodological question, perhaps. So you selected some articles with who had the most ranks, if I remember right. So to come up with these 648 comments or so. I sometimes have the feeling that if you write an article with very detailed and explains the pros and cons very well and so on, the comment thread shrinks to these few people who always write something, okay? So, and then if you write an article like, okay, climate change is a fact and all the people out there are dumb who don't believe it, I bet you get a lot of comments. So, why did you try to choose these articles and might you get to a completely different picture if you choose other articles?
Of course, the limitation of this method is by that we don't know who are our commenters, and we're sure that their commenters are some of them are stakeholders, some of them are very involved in the comments, and when I had to decide commenting, like there are articles that have 0 comments, and there are articles that had very low comments. But here I want to see a big mass of comments because I think that inside these commenters we can see many of the commenters, and in the previous article I really took a whole year and all the commenters, and I saw a little bit more details, but I think that here in this article I could see most of them, because statistically if I look only on the comments, so these are most of the commenters. And I think that most of them, of the other commenters were comment also on these commenters. The commenters that are commenting on this issue.
I think I can try to explain why it looked like the comments of the pro-science are simpler than those who are, because they understand that if they would speak in a higher level, the people who are against will not understand anything. Anyway, they try to simplify it.
But here I saw the opposite. Here I saw that the commenters...
And the other way, they want to be over-holding.
I think that it's another story.
So they think that if they will use higher level words, they will be right. It's not help them, but by the way, there are several professional in this area that I know them. Professional commenters that from some ideological movement like the Green Bloc, if you saw it, it's oxymoron, by the way, and other ultra-right capitalists that think that if they will deny the warming, they will not have to pay taxes to fight it.
I think that I don't claim that the skeptical commenters are in higher level. What we saw that the opposite way of that deficit model, of course, is not facing this situation, because we can see that there are people that are in a higher level that are skeptic on the scientific consensus. This is what we could see. It wasn't a survey. We didn't. We saw only the commenters that are very involved in the.
They echo the nonsense that looks to be scientific in the big Green Bloc. They copy them.
Yes, but here we could see.
They want to look scientific, but they write nonsense. I read it.
Maybe.
That's less things. Well, thank you very much.